What makes an older guy sexy to women? What do women find attractive in an older guy, even younger women? That's what we're going to discuss in this video. Hi, I'm Bobby Rio, and for the past 12 years, I've been working with guys one-on-one. And over the past several years, more and more of my clients are guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And I love working with these guys because they get the best results. They get immediate results because a lot of times they don't realize the untapped potential that they have in the dating scene. In fact, a lot of my clients, after a little while working with me, will say, man, like, it's actually easier now than it was in my 20s. And I think a lot of it stems from this idea that there are actually the women out there, younger women that find older guys instinctively more attractive. Now, I know the first thing anybody says when they hear that is, it's all about money, right? I'm sure that if you're watching this, there's a part of your brain that always goes, when you think of older guys being successful with women, there's always a part of the brain that goes, it's money. I know this because every time I create one of these videos, there's like 50 comments from guys saying women only like money, whatever. But the truth is that there's plenty of guys out there with average incomes that do really, really well with women, even as they get older. They come out of a divorce, they come out of a long-term relationship, get back into the dating scene, and find that it is even easier now. So why is that? Well, because there's a few qualities that older guys, when they embrace these qualities, become irresistibly attractive to women. And we're gonna go over these qualities right now. So the first quality that I want to discuss is the word and the quality of certainty. So certainty is a very attractive quality when somebody has it. A lot of people say, what is confidence? Well, confidence really is certainty. It's in believing that you're the best option, that where you choose to go is the best place. What you're interested in is the best, right? A lot of guys fall into this trap when they get back in the dating scene, older guys, where they lack certainty. And a lot of it is because they have this negative association with the fact that they're getting older, with the fact that they're now unsure of things. They're unsure what music is popular. They're unsure of what places are the cool, trendy places to go to. So they meet a woman, especially when they meet a younger woman, they begin second guessing themselves. When they plan a date, they kind of want to weasel around it to get the woman to choose the place because they're afraid that they might choose the wrong place. Or even in terms of making their move on a woman. I see this all the time with my older clients where they'll be with a woman who's giving them all the signs in the world, but they kind of tiptoe around it. They don't really believe she could be into them. So they never really, they might take on the role of a mentor. They might kind of toe the friend zone line, but they never actually make a move. Well, the truth is that certainty is an extremely attractive quality. Like, you're the best option. Because I always say women have a bit of make up my mind for me syndrome. They don't really know. And the interesting thing for an older guy is that when a woman meets you, if she's feeling attraction to you, it could go either way very quickly. You can become the creepy older guy, or you can become the sexy older guy. And who determines which role you play into? You do. She's kind of looking at you for the clues. And if you come in and you kind of act all creepy and all like doubting yourself, then that's what you're projecting and that's what she's going to react to. But if you come in certain that she should enjoy talking to you, right? Certain that going out on a date with you would be an extremely good choice for her, she's going to react to that. I mean, you see older guys all the time who have that attitude. They've been through life and they're very comfortable in the choices they make. And that's what you need to project, certainty that you're the best option. Number two, and this kind of plays into this idea of certainty, is non-reactive. What does that mean? Non-reactive. So, non-reactive means that you don't you're able to hold your composure. Because again, what happens to older guys, especially older guys who are talking to a younger woman, is the younger woman, because like I said, she often isn't sure about you. On one hand, you could be the sexy, mature, attractive older guy. On the other hand, you could be kind of the creepy older guy. And she's really not sure. So what she does is she tests you. She throws out these little tests, and all women do it. They do it to young guys, they do it to old guys, but they tend to do it to old guys more because they need to, they want to figure you out faster. So they may throw a test out there like, how old are you? Or you're like my dad's age. They might say something like that. Or they might make fun of you in something you're wearing. They might go, oh, those shoes you're wearing or whatever. And what they're doing is they're subconsciously doing it to see if you lose your cool around her. And the more you can keep your composure and let those kind of comments roll off of you, the more attractive you become. So if a woman says, how old are you? And you start going, well, you know, I'm 55, but I look good, and I'm like, you know, nobody really thinks I'm that age. Well, you just failed that test because you reacted to it. You started explaining and justifying yourself. And she immediately goes, oh, I have all the power in this situation. He's trying to impress me. A younger woman doesn't really want to have to impress an older guy. I mean, she doesn't want the older guy to have to impress her. She wants to have to impress him. Because that's her mindset, right? In her entire life is older guys are distinguished, they're sophisticated. I should have to impress them. So when you turn around and you start trying to impress her, it throws her off a little bit and she loses that attraction. So being able, if a woman says something to you about the clothes you're wearing and makes like a comment, oh, I don't like guys that wear that, and you go, thanks for the fashion advice, like kind of sarcastically, and go back to talking about everything, you just passed her test. And that's what she wants. Even though she's doing it in a way to kind of throw you off, the more you're able to keep your cool, the more attraction she begins to feel for you. So the third quality that women find attractive is what I call quiet power. Quiet power is when you have an authoritative presence around people. Not when you lose your cool and you demand things and you throw your temper around. Quiet power is when she feels safe around you because you get shit done. And you don't have to make a big deal about it. Because you got to realize women, especially women who are used to dating younger guys tend to not have their shit together. And a lot of times the girl, if you ever notice relationships with younger people, a lot of times the woman actually has to take on the man role because the guy is so clueless and he doesn't have his shit together that she's got to have that power and kind of dominate things. But when she meets an older guy who has that quiet, dominating power, that's really what she finds attractive. She doesn't want to be in the masculine role. A lot of younger guys force her into that because they're just clueless and they don't have they don't really know what they're doing. They're kind of still figuring life out. So when she meets an older guy and he has that quiet power, that get shit done attitude, where when she goes out to a restaurant with you and she orders a steak rare and the steak comes and it's well done and she's all kind of nervous to send it back, you just kind of call the waiter over and you go, hey, she ordered this rare. Can you have the cook make another one? Just very quiet, very confidently do that. You're showing a masculine side that a lot of younger guys don't take the initiative. A lot of younger guys would be scared to call the waiter over. They're going to spit in the food. They don't have that commanding presence that an older guy has. And women find that really attractive when you present that to them. So the next quality is integrity. And integrity is when you do what you say you're going to do and you don't make excuses for yourself. Again, what happens, and one of the things that I do have to smack around my older clients sometimes is they kind of take a victim mentality when I first start working with them, and they start saying things like, well, women only like money, and I go, no, that's not true. It's not true. Yes, you cannot be piss poor at 50 years old and expect to be, but you don't need to be rich. You just have to be financially stable, right? You have to not be like so broke that you're living in your parents' basement. But you do have to have integrity, because when a woman meets an older guy and he starts making excuses for his situation, that is very much a turnoff. On the other hand, when she meets a guy who says something and then does it, this is really, really a turn on. So if he says that he's gonna take her somewhere and then he actually shows up and does it, that alone sometimes is enough to differentiate yourself. But having her knowing that she can count on your word is really important, because again, a lot of guys aren't like that. It's funny, and a YouTube comment section of videos is the prime example of finding guys who have a victim mentality, who have a blame everybody but themselves mentality. And I laugh because my videos will have a handful of comments like telling me how whatever, criticizing me or criticizing something I said, and always coming back, and you could just see the negativity in them. And it really is a lack of self-responsibility, because a responsible person takes on the responsibility. And it's in words you say, right? So if you're talking to a woman and you're saying things like, well, I could have been more successful with my career, but my old business partner was the one who ruined things. Well, you're not taking responsibility. That's lack of integrity. Integrity is when you take full responsibility for everything in your life. And the reason that's so attractive to a woman is because she feels safe and secure around a man who has this level of integrity. And not many guys have it, trust me. So the next quality that is attractive, and my friend Hank kind of summed up this word. I never really knew the word, but he's the one that first started using it. And he says you have to have claim. You have to claim things. And if you ever notice, the guys in life who are really, really successful, not just with women, but successful with their jobs, their careers, they don't really wait for approval. They don't really wait for the person to come along and say, it's okay now you can do it. They claim it. And it's the same thing with women, that the guys, especially older guys, when you meet a woman and you claim her as being yours, not in a creepy, in a way, but it just more of a psychological way, like where you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna have her. She's gonna be mine. And you think like that, that's an attractive. Well, you can go, well, isn't that whatever? Well, compare that to the average guy. The average guy, as I said, especially older guys, they lack that certainty, so they never claim the woman. I see it all the time because I have so many clients that come to me and they're telling me, oh, my salsa teacher, or this woman at work, or I met this woman on this site and we went out on a date, but I couldn't tell, so I never made a move. Well, that's unattractive, because as an older guy, you're supposed to be the leader in the interaction. You're like, a leader claims what's his. And when you wait for a woman to go, it's okay for you to kiss me now, well, then you're just not giving her what she wants. And I know some guys go, well, what about the Me Too movement? Isn't that, no, listen, guys have been kissing women forever, right? Going for a kiss is not, Me Too is Harvey Weinstein doing really messed up shit. Going out on a date with a woman and going for the kiss is human dynamics. That's what two humans do when they're attracted to each other. So not doing it places yourself in the friend zone. A lot of guys say, well, I always wind up in the friend zone. Well, I always say, a guy doesn't wind up, a woman doesn't put you in the friend zone. You put yourself in the friend zone by the way you act towards a woman. And unfortunately, some nice, older guys and nice guys, they act like a friend because they're insecure to let their real intentions known. Maybe they feel guilty that they're attracted to this woman. Maybe they feel like it's wrong that I'm hitting on my coworker, or this woman possibly couldn't like me because she's 10 years younger than me. Well, the truth is, a woman is attracted to your attitude, to your traits, to your overall vibe. And if your overall vibe is saying, yeah, you couldn't possibly be attracted to me, well, you're making up her mind for her. And like I said, women have that make up my mind for me syndrome. So as an older guy, stop obsessing about things like money and start thinking, how can I incorporate being more certain? How can I be non-reactive is great. A lot of guys get really hung up on this idea that, oh, she's testing me. Oh, women say these things and it throws me off. Learn to love when women do this, because when you know how to pass these tests, it actually is a chance to make her more attracted to you. Look for opportunities to demonstrate that quiet power, to show off your integrity, and to claim. Now, a lot of older guys, like I said, I've been working with them individually for a while, but I've just wrapped up a brand new free, completely free live class that I do a couple times a week with my friend Hank, who also has been teaching this stuff, extremely, extremely knowledgeable. Hank is 55 years old and just has a wealth of information. And I actually resort to asking him questions often to help my clients out. And I got him, and he's very, very under the radar nowadays. And I got him to do a session with me, and we recorded this training. It's called How to Turn Your Age into the Ultimate Advantage with Women. And it's specifically geared for guys because we talk about things. We talk about the common tests, right? How to answer when a woman tests you, how old you are, what do you say? We talk about how to demonstrate, practical ways to demonstrate claim and integrity and quiet power. We talk about the other things that I didn't even mention today that women find really attractive in older guys that you got to begin showcasing. You got to begin actively showing women that you have this. Stop thinking I have to show women that I have money, because it's not money. It's the things that we're going to discuss in this new training, completely free. You can register at the link below. It's called How to Turn Your Age into the Ultimate Advantage with Women. And I want to see you on that class, especially, like I said, if you're 35, 40, 50 years old, because your mind is going to really expand in the things that we're going to go over. So register now. I don't know how long we are going to be putting on this free class, so you do want to register now.